Come on, my two-step. Yeah, y'all, we out here. You already know what it is. Another episode of More Than the Title. Welcome, y'all. I'm your host as usual. It is my favorite day, bro. It's party day. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm your host, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's good, baby?
Man, we in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, I want to say something, man. A couple of people been approaching us outside in the community and just random, walking up to us and just basic conversation and just telling us how much that they are enjoying the show.
Absolutely.
And when we start this show off, ladies and gentlemen, we tell you GNT, that's a perfect example of GNT. We are grateful and thankful for the fact that our message is resonating within the community, right? We have people that are coming up to us now and telling us that not only are they listening to the show, but they've gotten in contact with some of our guests, and the gems that we have provided them have helped them elevate their life and their business and their career. That's how we starting off the show today. GNT for the people that we have affected, whether we heard from you or not, but for the people that are actually listening and learning and taking the gems and the jewels that we are giving out and applying it to their lives, we're grateful that you're taking the next steps to better yourself and your situation. That's how we starting off the show. We appreciate y'all, man. And anybody else that, reach out, man, tell us a success story or let us know how anything that we have provided to you or one of our guests has provided to you on the show has bettered your life or your business, man. We love to hear it, man. We love those testimonials. So GNT to y'all, man, we appreciate y'all.
And that's a big ass lesson too, man.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole journey, bro, is you never know who's watching. Just because they're not liking a post or something like that doesn't mean they're not watching and not resonating with them. Like, that's one of the biggest lessons. Like, I'll go anywhere, I'll be like, damn, you saw that too? You really damn. I woke up 2 a.m. Al B. Shaw like one of our posts. I'm like, Al B. Shaw watching us? I'm like, yo, son, that's fire.
Yeah.
But that is inspiring, man. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. Y'all keep us going, man, because this is a strenuous journey, y'all. We're going to do it, and it ain't stopping, y'all. And, just like anytime, we got another dope guest, dope episode. People are putting on for the culture. We're going to give this brother the proper introduction that he deserves, man. Let's give him a proper introduction, bro.
Let's start the show.
Let's get him one of these, bro. But first of all, let's give a little backstory, too, y'all. So we met this brother at Black Week, actually. Great dude, man. We had a great time, inaugural event. We was chilling, man. We exchanged contact. When he was telling us what he was doing, man, we was just like, man, this is something that has to be championed. So we exchanged contacts. He was a man of his word, pulled up, and we're going to, let him know who you is, man. So you know what it is, More Than Title. We bring the game changers, the innovators. And so today, this brother is a visionary at the intersection of gaming, tech, and culture. He's dedicated to the future-proofing diversity in esports and gaming industry. He's the CMO of Cxmmunity Media, a media tech powerhouse committed to creating engaging, educational, entertainment program that amplifies Black and brown voices in gaming. A proud HBCU alumni, North Carolina Central State, got his master's at Georgia State to sharpen his skills, but he also co-founded the Esports League, this groundbreaking initiative designed to increase diversity, y'all. And he's worked with the heavy hitters, like he worked on brand strategy for major films like Space Jam, New Legacy, Jordan Peele's Candyman. Has worked with brands like Mountain Dew, Microsoft, Verizon, Discover, Nike, and NBC Universal. Y'all seen him on Breakfast Club. Y'all seen him at Black Week. Y'all see him on stage, y'all. Y'all see him in these colleges. And for today, he's on a favorite podcast for the first time, y'all. Let's introduce our brother, Christopher Peay, y'all.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Chris.
I got it. Oh, you just crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's a hell of an intro.
I thought you was gonna have to take a second window on that, cuzzo.
You said what happened?
I said I thought you was gonna have to take a second window now. Like, oh, he going.
I'm like, God damn, that brand too. Discover, damn.
Nah, it's crazy, man. When we met at Black Week,
yeah,
we were telling y'all about everything that we were doing, and I think the way that we were explaining it is, it's like it's always in a modest way. And I think one of y'all says, I can't remember exactly who, but it was like, yo, like you gotta flaunt that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all have done some amazing.
That was me. I told you stop being modest.
Yeah,
stop being modest with it.
Yeah,
stop being modest.
We done with that. We can be.
I'm taking credit for it.
You feel me? Now I gotta call that shit out, Chris.
You don't know. I'm taking credit for it.
He said, "No, that was me."
I just said, it's like the message button. You got to be quicker to the trigger, baby.
Nah, it was
claim it if you want it.
It was real advice, man. It's definitely appreciated. So since Black Week, that's stuck with me. I appreciate y'all for that.
Of course, man.
Love, bro. Always love, bro. So you already know, y'all, for the first time. So if you're the first
Yeah.
time listening, this is what we do, y'all. We celebrate people put on for the culture, man. This brother's doing amazing things, and we're gonna celebrate it. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna share some laughs. And so, bro, usually how we like to start, but we like to start from the beginning, man. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, growing up, man, some of your early influences, so we can, kind of understand the mindset, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was just telling somebody else, I'm like first generation removed from the projects, right? So I had my dad and my mom. Thank God my dad, his oldest brother was killed, I think in front of him when he was 17. His second to oldest brother did 33 years in prison. Got out back in 2017. And so like that's like my dad's side, right? My mom's side, they all so mom's side is like all in church. We kind of grew up in church. It was more polished, more close knit as a family. So yeah, man, I had kind of like the best of both worlds. I think from there though, I'm trying to think. Grew up, I had a lot of friends. My friends are still my friends to this day. So I definitely take pride in that. Same friends that I had when I was 4. You know what I'm saying? We're friends now at 30.
Yeah.
And so those my boys. But yeah, man, I think I'm here now, kind of student of the game, really just trying to learn as much as possible. And then like Chadeo or Jarrett said, trying not to be as modest as we were, because I mean we've done some pretty cool things, and I get people get on to me about all this all the time, like bro, like stop acting like you're not him. And so I don't want to necessarily. I think yeah, man, I'm gonna practice humility, and like we like to say, humility with dignity, humbleness with pride.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just we grow up listening to vernacular as children. Before you understand what something means, you can already recite it, right? Like children can recite curse words without understanding what the word actually means because they just hear it. So once you hear something a bunch of times, you kind of like grow into it and think that you know what it means, and you never really research or understand what it really means, right? So, I just said for us, and we believe this, right? Our culture has to see it and hear it to believe it, right? It's just the way that our culture operates in the moment. So if people like yourself and other people that have come onto this show do not get up there and put their chests out and say, this is what we're doing for the community, this is why it's important, and you act like you're timid, well, if it looks like you don't believe it, then how do you expect somebody else to believe it?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So if they're looking at you and it looks like you're shaky about your accomplishments, then they're going to question it. So we need you guys to come on here. It's not about bragging. It's about showing them what you've done and showing them your journey. That's why Cuzzo said we start from the beginning to show them that this is possible. Because although you came from a different state, there's a ghetto everywhere, right? There's poverty everywhere. So we all share similar stories.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, that's a fact. And so now, like you said, like 30, just turned 30 in September, business owner, been an entrepreneur for the last 4 years. I'm a father now. I got a 2-year-old.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
You got a son or a daughter?
A son.
Okay, dad.
Boy dad.
Boy dad.
Yeah. A lot of fighting, a lot of jumping off couches.
Yeah.
There you go. It gets wild in the house. But yeah, man. So yeah, now we're here. Run a company called Cxmmunity Media. We started as a nonprofit though in 2020. So we still have that nonprofit. It's a community foundation. And then we operate the Cxmmunity Media Co., which is an agency and a brand, essentially, like we like to say, like the pulse of youth culture. And as we talked about, just focus on gaming. So we have 3 different brands that we've launched out of Cxmmunity. One that we invested in, though, we talked about like the HBCU Esports League. We can get into that. It's the first esports league for HBCUs. We launched that with Amazon. We have another brand called Trap Sushi. Trap Sushi is dope. That's one of the brands that we invested into earlier last year, actually. Their goal is to basically blend the worlds of like Japanese anime culture with rap hip hop culture. They throw these parties, these really dope events, bringing out about 2,000 to 3,000 people on a monthly basis. And it's all like, it's like the ultimate like black nerdom, right? Like you'll see like black people that's dressed up in cosplay, where they're there with like the anime merch on and, dancing, having a good time playing video games. It's dope. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, I need the info on that because CJ would absolutely die for that.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, please send me the info for that because my son and his team, oh Lord, that'd be like Christmas in July. Please, I'm begging you, Chris. I'm begging you.
But even let's backtrack though, bro. Are you a first generation entrepreneur in your family?
Yes. So yes, and then as I started, now my aunt has a business, my dad has a business.
Nice.
And so it's like it's kind of working in reverse in a way. So first generation college grad, started a business, and then like now I'm like I'm preaching to, I guess, the older crowd in a way, and just trying to kind of help bring them up too.
Shit, I love that, and it's just crazy you said that. Same thing with us, bro. First generation. My mom had just opened up her business about 4 or 5 months ago.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah, like real talk, bro. So that's what it is. It's just seeing, believing it, you know what I'm saying? And just putting something to paper, having an idea, seeing it come to life, and just taking wherever that journey takes you, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying? For you, bro, you started, like I said, you went through college, things like that. Like, what gave you the entrepreneurial itch? Because you could have easily said, yo, I'm going to go over here, work for Nike, make 200, 300 bands, whatever, you know what I mean? Climb up that corporate ladder. What made you go to entrepreneurship route, bro?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that question. I think I've always been like a rebel in a way. And so like even in like church, right? Like I always wanted to understand why couldn't we do these things? Like why are they doing that? Right? Like if they're doing that and they're not necessarily where they want to be in life, or they're not happy with their life, like why would I, go and kind of do the same thing?
Message.
Just seeing for me personally, I guess I would say like I had more than enough examples of what I didn't want to be. And so really just looking at like people that, like I was looking up to, at the time, like a Diddy, for example, or other like Black entrepreneurs. And I kind of wanted to be that. So actually my very first business that I started was called Good Karma. And we did 7-on-7 tournaments. That was going to be a nonprofit too. We did football tournaments in Charlotte to raise money for kids. I'll never forget that.
Fire. I got family down there in Charlotte too. But what you said though, bro, it's seeing the examples. You said a lot of gems in now. I think you was gonna go where I was gonna go, Cuzzo.
Well, no, I just wanted to backtrack and ask him a personal question before we get into anything else. I want to ask you, Chris, how did that make you feel? Your family raised you a certain way, right? They poured into you. How did that make you feel that you became an entrepreneur? And we talk about breaking the cycle. You said first generation removed out of the projects, but look at what you did. Yeah. They removed you out the projects, first generation, and gave you a different life. You in turn now turned around and introduced them to being an owner rather than a worker. People that clearly are almost twice your age and have double the experience and have lived their life working and following a certain system, but had enough faith in you, younger than them, less experienced, to follow you in your journey and say, if he can do it, I'm going to follow him, and now take the leap of faith to become a business owner. How does that make you feel that you were able to do that already with only being in business for 4 years?
That's a good question too. So I think personally, it makes me feel like at first it was like the black tax, right? Like, you did this thing, now you have to go back and you have to, help out where you can, and everybody's like, oh, you rich, you got money. And it's like those things. And then I think on the flip side now, again, like, and part of that, I really appreciate y'all, because part of that was that conversation that we had in New York, where it's like, I'm saying, like, now I feel great. I feel like I have made an impact, and I'm finally starting to understand that like it is me, right? Like it's not. And my godmom told me this weekend too. She was like, Chris, you're not successful because you started that business. Like, you're not successful because of that. She's like, that was already you before you started that. So anything that you go off and do after that, or while you're doing that, like, it's gonna be successful. And so really, to your point, I think I credit my mom. I credit my dad. Like I said, my dad didn't graduate. He barely graduated from high school. He wrote 3 books now. One of them was like an Amazon bestseller last year, online. So and then my mom, she has her business now. She's doing embroidery. She started doing t-shirts in the pandemic, and so now she's she got her embroidery machine. My aunt has her embroidery machines.
I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
man, it's life is good, and I think now, again, like I said, just now starting to understand that you can actually have an impact. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, what else can we do? Because I mean, I've went probably the first 2-3 years of business trying to do it alone by myself, and that shit ain't no fun.
No
Yeah.
shit. Tell me about it, bro.
You're getting comments already. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, they're saying, that's super dope,
Yeah.
Chris, and people can learn at any and all ages, right? If they're willing and open to learn, right? Which is true. You learn something new every day if you're willing to learn. And you see Osas put up the comment, you know what I mean? Keep on grinding. So look at that already, right? And we talk about the process of this platform. Look in the process of what you do. Look at how you are changing lives already.
I think what you said though, it was the realest though, is the rebel mindset. Is the question and why the shit is what it is, bro. I don't think enough of us do that. You know what I'm saying? You seeing what it is, you could have been like, yo, I'm just part of this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna still hustle. I'm gonna da-da-da. I see homies getting money. I know I gotta do this, da-da-da. You was like probably like, yo, I'm gaming, I'm doing this, but it's the rebel mindset. Why the fuck can't I do this? Why can't I be him?
Right. Yeah. I talk to my dad about that all the time. Like we probably talk about this every day. But I mean, it's really just being disruptive, man. Like you don't have to pick a side. Like you don't have to do that or that. Like you could do something completely different. You know what I'm saying? Step towards the solution. I think I was reading TD Jakes' book, Disruptive Thinking, and he was saying like disruptive thinking isn't picking a side of the argument. I think he said it's stepping over the argument towards a solution or something like that. I'm butchering it up. But yeah, to your point, Jared, is those things. Like I don't look at anything as like I have to do it, right? Like why? Yeah. Like you got to tell me why. You got to really get down to the bottom of why it won't work. And if you're not willing to go all the way down there, then I'm about to do it.
That's a fact. So with that being said, bro, your first time entrepreneurship, you started your first company, Good Karma, right? What was the toughest challenge? What was the one thing you wasn't expecting? What was the curveball?
We was young. I think a lot of it played a part on me too, and I started it with my friends. I think that's I'm not gonna say that's a no. But I mean, I guess you have to choose the friends that you know the friends that want to actually do the same thing.
Message.
So gonna jump off the ledge with you.
Yeah, and the ones that just like they're willing to do it with you, but for them they're not bought in. And so for that, like Good Karma, like I said, we did a 7-on-7 tournament. I found the notebook too, cleaning out the storage in my dad's crib. And so I found the notebook. We were talking about what we're gonna do. We did a 7-on-7 tournament. We had like probably 300 people out there, all the top athletes. At the time, we were in college. We were freshmen in college, and so all of the top athletes coming out of Charlotte, we were all cool together. And so they all came back as our first summer back in college, out of college. And so everybody, you can imagine, in the city was coming out too to kind of see what these new guys are doing. And yeah, I think we might have raised like $2,500, something like that. And then we ended up donating it to a local homeless shelter and whatnot. But I think in terms of like the challenge in that was just trying to do it with friends. Like we ended up arguing about like who's the CEO and who's gonna do what. And it's like those juvenile things that now looking back at it, like I'm glad that happened, because now as an adult, like I don't even have those problems no more, man. Let's be straight up. You say what it is. How do you win? How do I win? It aligns. It doesn't. It just doesn't. We keep it moving.
But curious though, why a not-for-profit business?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, shit, the 2,500, motherfucker. I'm just got a college. I got bills. I got bills. What's going on?
Yeah, and I think that might have been another thing that played a part in it too. It's like just like being young, trying to do something, and we've always again, going back to my godmom, right? Like she used to tell me good things happen to good people. What I will say is that I've always been a good person. Like always, no matter what. And so like I think that probably played a part in like the nonprofit too, which then I guess transfers over to starting a nonprofit 4 or 5 years ago.
But look at the name, Good Karma. Look at you now.
It also goes into education too. It also leads into education, Chris. And I don't know if you had mentors guiding you. Let's say when you wanted to start your business, right? When Cuzzo wanted to start the business, he knew the podcasting. I didn't. Like, be clear. Like, it's about being around people that can help you in your journey. So when he came to me and said, I want to start a business because I run businesses. I broke down to him the different types of businesses that this could become, right? Doing a nonprofit is like 10 times harder than starting a regular LLC or even an S Corp because there's extra paperwork, it's special paperwork, is certain guidelines that you have to go by. So did you have a mentor or anybody guiding you when you decided to open up the business? Because that would be a reason, like if they sat you down and said, well, you can do a nonprofit, but this is what that looks like. Maybe you'd have made a different decision. Did you have anybody guiding you when you decided to open up the business?
No. And I think that plays a big part on me today too, because like, again, just being like I've never seen a blueprint to like do anything. So I've just been doing things.
Right.
And so like, yeah, I guess my mentor in that sense was like my dad, right? Like I had mentors, like my coaches that I coached Little League. Again, I think this is a testament to just being a good person. Like those, they still call me and check on me today. One of them is like he texts me probably once a month. He's pushing me to do something that I know I need to do, right? It's like those type of mentors that I've had, but even then, they also called me for business advice too. And so, you know, I've never had a business mentor outside of just like looking at people on TV and just trying to figure those things out. I think now, like people like a Dante, for example, like Dante Simpson, we'll give his name. Dante is like extremely busy, as y'all know. And I mean, Dante connected us, right? Like Dante's like, yo, y'all need to meet these dudes. And that's Dante, right? Like that's Dante doing that every single time we're with him. Like whether we came together or not, like when he sees us, he gonna make sure that anybody that he's talking to, that they need to talk to us. And so for me, it's like trying to find more of those people. I know I mentioned like Dr. Marcus Collins, right? Like he's a mentor in a way. Like I have his phone number, we can text. We never like linked up or anything like that. But I mean, I'm watching what he's doing and I'm learning. I'm learning from afar.
Messages in the movements. You see how he's moving and catch a message. I'll be seeing all this stuff. He be in Japan, he be over here.
Yeah,
moving.
And that's funny you mentioned Dante's name because he's actually in the chat and he said to say what's up. He's watching you right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He said my dog Chris, and he's like, yo, he's proud of you. You understand what I'm saying? Keep pushing and everything. So he's actually on the live watching right now. So shout out to Dante, man.
That means a lot. Means a lot.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, shout out to Dante. He pulling up on the 11th too. Right after
okay.
We're gonna talk about some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to the bro, man. But
I like it, man. Good.
So
you ready to go?
You giving business advice to the mentors, bro. What's the high level? What's one piece of business advice would you give to our entrepreneurial fans out here, listeners right now? What's one piece of advice?
I think I got two, right? So one is very simple because I think we get in a habit, especially with the age of social media. Like I was talking to my boy Wayno. I grew up and I was born in 94, so grew up. I remember having a dial-up computer. I had a flip phone for like all the way up through like middle school, I think, until I got to high school. I had a touch screen. And so we didn't really have social media. We had MySpace. But I think now like we get in this comparison thing where like, you know, it's very easy to see someone else doing something or you're scrolling and you're doom scrolling. I think the biggest thing that I have to even remind myself is like success is one of the possible outcomes. And I know like all the negative press and things that he has on him, but I think I got that from like Elon Musk, where it's like what if it doesn't work? Like we can think of a million reasons why it wouldn't work, but then there's always that one, like it literally might work. And then I think for us, then just starting like community, another big one was like if you can sell someone that a problem exists, then I mean, like I think 70% of the work is done. Message. That's kind of how we started, right? Like Black kids play video games. Black youth or Black people don't necessarily work in the video game industry. Like that's a problem. And so that's the problem that we've identified, and then just found people in that industry that, you know, we could identify to kind of help raise that and bridge that gap.
Yeah. I just want to touch on something that you said earlier, because me and Cuzzo talk about this all the time. The survivor's remorse, right? When you start something and you become successful, it's only natural. You said you had the same friend since you was 4. Me and Cuzzo go through the same thing all the time, right? We've had long-term friends that you've gone through things with in life friends, right? You've gone through some good shit, some bad, like some shit, right? And it forms a bond. But when it comes down to business, right? That bond sometimes is not transferable because the skills that they have is not transferable to business, right? So when you're trying to choose somebody to go into business with, right, it's not only do they have the skills to do the business, but do they have the willingness to learn the things that they don't know to be a productive part of the business. And I think that's one of the key factors where a lot of relationships go sour. It's not that you don't know, it's you also are not willing to learn. And I'll use myself as an example. Like I said, I knew nothing. I didn't even really listen to podcasts when Cuzzo came to me. And I didn't sit there. I could have sat there and be like, yeah, I know podcast. Then he probably would have said a couple of words to me and said some shit, and I'd have looked stupid because I wouldn't know what the fuck he's talking about, right? I do music. Now, music, mixing it, I do that. But podcasts, I knew nothing about. But I told him, if you guide me, I'm willing to learn. Right. And in our journey in these last 2 or 3 years, we've gone to several conferences and we do a lot of learning. Right. We go to other people's events and we learn, and I sit down and I take notes and we talk every single day on strategy and what can we do better. We analyze the show. Right. And I'm willing to learn, which helps build the business. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the key factors when you want to involve family or like really close friends in what you're doing, because it's natural for us to, want to bring the next person up, right? That's technically what success is. You get up, reach back and help somebody else. But one of the key factors is you got to do it with somebody that is willing to learn and wants to be a valuable part of the business. You know what I'm saying? And not just let the ego get in the way of saying like, well, I was this on the street, so I was this in the hood, so I should be this in the business, when I absolutely don't even know how to really do that. You know what I mean?
Real quick, just real talk, bro. But it's self-awareness.
Okay.
You know who your homies are. You know who's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I go to Chad, bro. We got homies. I got my brother. I got people we could go to, but I know who's gonna jump off the ledge with me for what reason, and who's gonna see the mission. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like who's really gonna see the mission? You said one joint that one gender is crazy. You said the mindset, like the glass half full, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that was one of the illest things that my mentor told me. Solomon Troy, God rest his soul, bro. That was the first conversation we had. He was like, yo, you think about all the things that could go wrong. He was like, yo, the glass half full always. I ain't know this, and da. And I think about everything. I don't even have a negative thought. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. So we got to make it happen. I don't give a fuck how it has to happen. Yeah, it is gonna happen. And when when you're a good-hearted dude, it's gonna happen, bro. So it's the mindset, being self-aware of who you are, what you're willing to do for your business, what you're willing to sacrifice for the success. Because this shit is crazy. Are you willing to give your last dime for this shit? Generational wealth? Are you willing to not go to the club next week? Are you willing not to get those JOs? Are you willing to not do that? Like, what are you willing to do for this shit? Like, I would love to know that story from you too, bro. Like, what are some of the sacrifices?
Well, I think, and that's the thing, right? And I think for us, like one, man, my therapist told me this too. So I guess to answer your question though, we started in 2020. Ryan, my business partner, like he's dope, and we butt heads a lot. But what I'll say about him is like I always have this mantra: it's like train insane or remain the same, right? Like if you playing football, I grew up playing football. Like we were training.
I got a football guy.
Yeah. You don't hoop.
I got one, Jay. I got one. Wait, Chris. Too many motherfuckers come on. Jay's a basketball guy. Too many motherfuckers. We done had too many motherfucking basketball players over here, and I'm sitting in the bleachers like, ain't nobody playing football. I got one, Jay.
I play 2K though. I know he plays 2K.
Yeah, I do play 2K.
We're gonna get back to the 2K. I'm gonna make you a promise. I'll make you an offer.
No, but yeah, so it's like training same and remain the same. So we're playing football. Like we were on the football field. Like in the summer, we were in the gym, right? And to your point, Jay, like those friends that you just know your friends. And I think us as I guess Black youth, like we try to force things. And so like you said, it's that black tax where it's like, yo, I know where I'm about to go and I want y'all to go with me. And so this is what I'm going to do for you. And then it doesn't end up panning out that way. And it's completely fine. Right. But like my therapist told me, he's like, man, you got to take your cape off. Because I mean, he said, like, you have on a spacesuit, right? Like, because I became a space nerd over the past year. I can talk to you about rocket ships for days. But he was like, you're operating at a high altitude, right? Like you're in space. You're on the moon, is what he said. And you have on a spacesuit, and you're trying to bring people up that don't have a suit. And so, like, even if you think about it, like, even if you were to bring them up there, they're gonna die, they're gonna combust, like they're not gonna survive because they're just not equipped. Like
you got a double. You got a
like,
double.
They aren't ready for that level of intensity.
Oh wait, hold up, I like the tone on the. I ain't like the tone on the double, God.
That was crazy.
I ain't like the tone.
I thought you let me stay with that.
Chris was uncomfortable. No,
YouTube loves it.
Right, I bet.
Yeah.
But
No,
no, so like,
I love that analogy. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I might actually have to use that, Chris. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Use it.
I like it, man. I like it because it's a very good analogy, and it's easy to picture and understand exactly what they were saying. You know, when you grow up in urban America. Oh, look, see, there it is. You see, there it is, right there. You see,
yeah.
You know, when you grow up in urban America, Chris, and you form these bonds, the survivor's remorse. Like I said, when you go through some shit, and we talking like life-altering things with friends. Like in our neighborhoods, once you become friends for so long, you're not friends no more. Y'all brothers. That's my brother. That's my brother, right? You understand? And we don't say that shit lightly. We saying like, we not blood related, but bro, you my family, right? We at family events together. We do everything as a family. So of course, when you succeeded, you want, as a good-hearted person, why would you want to be on top? It's no fun if your circle can't have the same fun, they can't go to the same places. So it's just a natural instinct to want more for your peers and your family. But we both, me and my cousin, have lost relationships for wanting more for a person than they wanted for themselves. And it ends up creating a rift and severe conflict, because it's like, why you keep pushing me? Why, you understand? Like, why you keep pushing me? Why you right? Because
everybody want to be Jordan. It's nothing wrong with being Ron Harper.
It's not wrong.
There's nothing wrong with being BJ Armstrong or Horace Grant. You know,
I'll be Kurt for the three for the one shot.
Win.
Right.
Coach for the win, bro.
Right.
Like, come on, it's about building the team. We all gonna eat, and if you got real dudes with good hearts, it's going to work out. But you just can't, you know what I mean? You got to be willing and prepared to put the spacesuit on. We going to a place that nobody's ever seen, at least from where we from.
That's a fact.
So are you willing to go there? And what are you willing to do to get there and stay there? When we get there, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Yep. And we talked about that. And like, even then, like, I think we're still, and y'all probably still guilty of it too. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people where you like, yo, listen, like, just listen, like, just, you know what I'm sayaying? Just do this. And you can send a text message and you can try to encourage as much as possible, but like, they just won't hear it. Right. And then, you're done.
Nah, I'm done. I ain't gonna lie to you, because you got to draw a line somewhere. You know why? Because this takes two, and we can talk to you because you understand. Going to work is easy. You clock in, you clock out. You could do your job. No shade to anybody that has a 9 to 5, especially a 9 to 5 that has some type of security, federal job, state job, stuff like that. You can go to work, and as long as you don't do something extremely ignorant, you will never get fired. You can stay there for 20, 30 years and just do your job and be the average Joe, and your pay will go up, raises. You ain't got to do shit. Yep. Easiest thing in the world. This is the hardest thing in the world, to step out on your own and say, I'm willing to bet everything. And I might lose everything, right? The car, the apartment, the girlfriend, the wife, the relationship. We've talked to so many people that have been in relationships, been married, etc. And because they chose to become an entrepreneur, have lost it all. So this is serious. So after a certain point, you don't have any more energy to pour into other people when you're still trying to make this thing work for yourself. You gotta draw a line. You gotta draw a line.
That was a good monologue.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm done now. Bro. Done. I would say done now. And then, like, I mean, you know, I guess you just learn these things as you get older. Like, you start to realize that people are in your life for a reason, and it's okay. Like, you have friends that do this thing, right? You have friends that you can have a really good in-depth conversation with. You have friends that you can go into business with. You got friends that, when you just need a night out, so, pull up, like, let's go. And it's okay. It's cool.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
So since we talking about that, bro, what was the moment? Was there a moment during your journey, whether when to start the first business or to where you were now, where you felt like back against the wall and you wanted to quit? Did you have any of those moments, and how'd you get past it if you did, bro?
Shit, probably every day at this point. But I think like for us,
that was super.
for us, I like the biggest thing that I had to learn early on is like for my confidence. Like I've always been somewhat confident, and it's never been based on my ability. Like I've never been confident because I was good, or confident because I knew something, or confident because I knew something more than somebody else. It's really just always been on my intention. So like my intention is always to learn. My intention is always to be of service, to provide some sort of value. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never ask for anything for free. It's hard for me to ask for anything, one. And then two, I'm never gonna ask for it for free. Like if Dante's still in here, like he can like, I'm like, yo, what do you need help with? And I just need one conversation a month, right? Like I just need to be able to pick your brain. And so it's like those type of things. But I think early on, I guess to answer the earlier question,
it's real.
We were broke. And so like Ryan, my partner, he used to like,
that's real.
He would like work a job. He would learn as much as possible, and then he would quit. And then he would, and when he got low on money, he would do the same thing and do it over again. And I ended up getting let go in 2020. And then he was just like I remember the message. He was like, "Congrats! Like let's go full time on this." So I'm like that. And so we ended up doing that. And then again, like I had never filed unemployment. Like obviously I knew like I could call my dad. He could tell me about that. Using my mom could tell. They could walk me through that. And so, yeah, I was filing unemployment for like 2 years in the middle of COVID. And that was probably like back against the wall, like some of the toughest times ever. As you know, we were already in a pandemic. And then I wasn't working anymore, but then also like I was never home because I was out working on this thing too. And so really just, trying to grind it out, I guess I would say. But it kind of became like second nature. And so for me, I didn't want to like, I don't know, like to your point of like working a job and being safe, I think that's cool as long as you're happy. I just never wanted to like, I took a loss and I was like, all right, but like, I don't have to play defense every day. Like I don't have to play it safe.
Message.
Yeah.
That's real shit, bro.
If you look at society though, Chris, how safe is it at this point working a 9 to 5? Let's talk about it. So they say, oh, I don't want to, a lot of people do not want to risk it all for entrepreneurship. But okay, let's talk about it. You work 20 years, you work 30 years. Look at what Trump just did in the first week in office. All the federal employees back in, you don't even have space for all of them, in attempts to shrink it down. So that same job that you thought you might have just had might be up in smoke with just a change of administration that fast. Boom. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. Or you get the people that work 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, retire. I don't know how it is in North Carolina. New York is a taxable pension state. There are some states that do not tax your pension, but New York does. You understand? So you only take a portion of your highest salary anyway, right? 70%, some places 60. So imagine taking 60% of what you work for 20 years. You're at top pay. Now you go back down to mid pay, and then the state taxes your ass. Now your retirement check, you can't live off of. You can't. Message. What do you do now? Do you go back to the place you just retired at top pay? No. Most people go get now another job starting at the bottom again, or Home Depot or something, to just make ends meet. And now you what are you doing? Working for another 20 to how is that safe? Where is the quality of life in that?
Yeah. Say, man, I could have did that.
But what was the moment for you, bro? Like we broke, we grinding, we trying to figure this shit out. What was the moment where the shit clicked or shit like, all right, man, we on to something right now? Because during the pandemic, like especially for your vertical, you see it exploding, but it's like, how do I enter this vertical? How do I differentiate myself in the space? Where's the problem? You're trying to figure that out. What was the one moment that it just clicked for you, bro?
Yeah, so I would say we did an event. Well, like probably a week after I ended up losing that job, we had a friend that we connected with, and she was a PR consultant, something like that. She ended up connecting us with the news, WSB TV here in Atlanta. And so they did like a news story. And so I remember like my boy was working on it, Ryan was working on it full time. And I was kind of just coming off of my, full-time job or whatever. And he was like, yo, we got this interview coming up. It's next Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. We're just talking about it. And so I remember going, I'm like printing out some hoodies. I'm like, yo, you about to be on like TV. We got to get some hoodies. We got to get that going. That then transitioned into a group reaching out to us to do that Tech for COVID event that I mentioned. That we did that on Twitch. We had Michael Strahan, Anthony Anderson, Dionne Warwick, Shannon Sharp. There's a bunch of like HBCU alum, like A-list Black celebrities, and that came from like this other group that we connected with that reached out and wanted to partner on that event, and that's where we ended up raising like $118,000 for students that were impacted. So the city of Atlanta was short. I think about 10,000 students did not have like at-home laptops or computers to be able to do distance learning, and so they were about to be left behind. And so we ended up raising money for them. Got that going, and then Twitch saw that. So Twitch is a platform that we did it on. Twitch obviously was bought or acquired by Amazon, like I think 2 years prior. And so they needed more Black content on their platform. This was around the time, you know, executives, COVID, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, what we call like the new civil rights movement. Together. And so, you know, Twitch needed more Black content, and we pitched the idea of an esports league for HBCU. So I had graduated from an HBCU, North Carolina Central University. Ryan graduated from Oakwood University. And so really it was just building what we wish we had in school. Like my boys, that like when I transferred to Central, and their dorm, everybody was in there playing the video game, and they was betting. It's like $50 here and there, $5, $10, or some wow points, or what we call like credit on your Eagle card or whatever. But yeah, so we pitched HBCU Esports League, and Twitch being on my Amazon big media property, we're like, oh, this is cool. And so they're like, yo, we can get 4 sponsorship. We can get 4 brands to sponsor this thing for $1.25 million each. And then when they said that, we just doing basic math, like, oh shit, like it's
$5 million.
Damn!
Rip, $5 million. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're like, this is real.
You gotta listen to him. You can learn something.
Wait, hold on. Before you go further in the story, I'm a sales guy. How did you know who to pitch, and what was the pitch like?
So lucky for us, right? So Twitch ended up striking a deal with Twitch where they would actually kind of help lead the sales for us. And so again, like for us, it's like we didn't have like they would consult with us. Obviously, they would bring us on a lot of the brand calls, but I don't even think look where we are now, and then thinking about where we were then. I don't think we would have been ready to like get on those brand calls. And so, you know, it's one of those things where you have to give up a little bit to get a lot type of thing. But yeah, so they kind of led those. And Verizon was the first brand that to buy in. So first season we only had one sponsor, but it was at that rate. And it was with Verizon. And I mean, they sponsored all the way up until season 4 of HBCU Esports League.
Fire. Shit, and that shit. I gotta ask you. It's mad questions I got. Yo, bro, this shit is fine. I got you got something because I don't want to go crazy.
No, listen. When they talk that sales talk, I know I see the glimmer in your eyes.
Yeah, because we catch you up. We Twitch. You structure that deal for the 2.5. Right, you haven't had these type of deals, right? How do you know how to structure it for yourself and your business, and what margin, what things, and all that to take? You ain't got to tell us the margin, but how did you figure that part out?
So honestly, man, it was a lot of learning and just figuring out on the fly. So so when we started, right, there was a lady, I want to shout her out. Allie Young is her name. She ran a company called Access Replay. So when we started, Ryan was like doing some work with Access Replay, I think for free. And she would let us use her venue. It was like a 20,000 square foot land center in Atlanta. They had video games. You can go there, play video games, eat, drink. And so like at the height of COVID, she ended up having to change her business model. And so she started doing like live event productions. And so we were just working out of there, you know, saying just helping out with the events, doing whatever we can, meeting up, trying to come up with the plan. And so as we struck this deal with Amazon, it's like we needed live event production. And so it's like, oh shit, well, like we're already here. Like we could just then leverage Allie and her team. And so she had a kid named Hollis. Hollis he graduated from Georgia State too. And you know, he kind of led the productions for us that first year. But I think in terms of like just how we knew how to structure those things. I don't even know, man. Like, just learning on the fly.
You know what I'm saying? Because look, for us as entrepreneurs, especially small business owners, when we first start, right? You work with a company like Twitch. We're talking about 2.5 million, right? I started that had this idea of the brand, but also I'd rather a small piece of a watermelon than than 100% of a grape, right? So I don't want to leave nothing on the table though. And that type of training, bro. We don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, our family's not in it. We're the first generation. How do I make sure I get value with the benefit of network and collaborate? Straight up, Rikishi, that's real. You know what I mean? But those are the things that we need to know. So that's why I was curious, because we're going to get a conversation. We're going to talk to the distribution place, right? We're going to need to know this, right? And that's why we talk to other creators. Like we need really a network where all of us can be talking, so we can leverage our power in those negotiating rooms.
And even like that, the message about like collaboration and networking. So I will say Ryan was probably a lot more sharper than me in that. And so he had worked in sales. Like I did sales and marketing, but for retail. And so I'm coming up with, different strategies to help people go into the store when you go into the store, which, those type of things for big CPG brands. But Ryan actually worked in like tech sales. And so he's like the ultimate salesperson, I would say. So like he knew all of that language, and I just knew how to bring people together and put these programs together creatively. And so it kind of worked out. It's definitely a really good balance.
Yeah, but you have, here's the thing, right? There is no perfect answer for that question. That's why Cuzzo asked you that, because we want to hear your journey, because everybody's journey is different, and that's the message that we want to send out to the people, right? Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be comfortable with the decisions that you make for your company. Whoever it is that is the heads of state of your company, you'll sit down, look at the deal on the table, and negotiate it, right? And then say, is this comfortable for us? What margin would we be comfortable taking? Because at the end of the day, you had nothing to leverage against it. You had nothing as a case study to say, but we already at this market. You have to go above here. You have nothing. So at the end of the day, you have to start somewhere. Can you look back now as an established brand and go, oh, we could have did that deal better? Of course you can now, because you have the resources now, you have the education now, you have everything extra now, right? But let's hold on.
So when we start talking that shit,
you gotta book them on your own show. No. You see, listen,
you see us talking.
Our phones never ring when we start talking that big, and everybody wants to start calling. Look, you gotta book it on your own. No, but that's what it is, Chris. You have to be willing to take the hit, right? You have to be willing to start somewhere, and that is the difference between a business successfully growing and a business that essentially kills itself right off the back for being too greedy, for looking at hip hop or rap moguls and be like, well, they making this kind of money, and thinking that relates to you. No, it doesn't. Their brand is not your brand. Your brand is your brand. So you have to do something that's comfortable for you, that makes sense for you, and now you can use that as a baseline. That's number one. Number two is now you establish the relationship. And this is the key right here. So if you knock this shit out the park, and like you said, Verizon could have easily only sponsored you for year one, but they did 4 years. Now, for the 4 years of Verizon sponsoring you, now you can use that Verizon logo. Now you can use that Verizon relationship. Now people from Verizon might reach out to other people and say, yo, this is a great guy to work with. And you see the benefits of this thing, but you have to be willing to understand that, your first deal is not going to be the best, right? But is it comfortable enough for you to, still keep the company alive and keep upgrading it and progressing it and still make some money? Yes. Then let's get to work. You know what I mean? Like that's the key to that.
This is inspiring. No. Yo, bro, you got me in, but then you got to tell Ryan to hit me up with a text. I'm from Texas. Tell him to hit me up. Give him mine, and we're going to start the group chat after this, bro. We ask all of our guests too, bro, because I'm curious to hear from you now.
Right.
What is the mama I made it moment for you? What was the one moment? Was it the first event? Was it something you did recently? Was it, you hit a certain revenue marker? What was the mama moment, made it moment that like made you drop a tear or something?
I think, man, so honestly,
keep it real, keep it a stack. I need to give it a B.
I'm trying to think if I've had one. I think so, like for the longest, like again, there's no blueprint. there's no one to really turn to for a lot of times to even, you know what I'm saying, that can understand your struggle. And so for me, it's just been like head down, like, you know, just working nonstop. I think some cool things that we did, right? Like we went to France. So we went out to Cannes for the Cannes Lion Festival of Creativity. And we spoke on some panels out there, right? We spoke on a panel with we spoke on a panel with the CMO of MasterCard. You know, he mentioned working with us. Hasn't come to fruition yet, but we definitely want that to happen. We also we ended up working with the group out in Nigeria, and so we went to Nigeria. It's funny enough, actually, we went to Nigeria, from Nigeria to France. I think that was like one of the cooler moments. But in terms of like the "Mama, I made it" moment, I don't think I've had one.
It's crazy.
Okay.
No, that was this past year you was in Cannes?
So that was this. We went this year and we went the year before. Well, last year and the year before.
Oh yeah, I ain't mad at you.
It's crazy because we supposed to be out there.
We were gonna be out there last year, so we probably more than likely we're gonna be out there this year. We working out the details and logistics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to give you context, bro, I was one of Cannes' first employees in the U.S. Used to work at Cannes.
Okay.
Help open one of their archive business. Been there before, all that stuff. Been flown out, all like that's what I used to do for business development, tech sales, like Ryan. So so holla at me. We actually about to have Simon Cook on. So the CEO about to pull up. Yeah, this is what we doing.
Tough, yeah. So we were close with again, man, just building relationships. We ended up becoming close with the chief diversity officer, and so even last year, you know, again, him liking what we do, like he ended up giving us some tickets to go out there and attend like some of the panels, and so.
Shit, drop a name. I'm
a lot of people.
Drop a motherfucking name.
Cuz I was a sniper. He's like, who? Reach out to him tomorrow.
Now I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to you for real though. I can't think of his name right now, but I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it from you, Simon. We're gonna get that motherfucker. I need to know now. We're gonna get a party.
Now, I'm gonna send it to you. But I think now I'm trying to slow down, man. Like I mentioned therapy, so in therapy, and I think that's part of the reason why I haven't had that moment, because I haven't had a chance to like sit down and just like, I guess, take it all in. Like we went to Cannes last year, and I went to.
I was waiting for
the button.
That's why I gave you that look, because I'm like, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Nothing around.
I knew he was going to use those 3 words. I had my finger on the trigger. Like, I know he going to say it. I had to get mine back.
But nah, man. So I haven't had a chance to like sit down and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
That's good.
And so I'm starting to do that now.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, man, my mom's proud. I'll say that. I think my grandmother would be proud. My grandmother kind of she had dementia, and she would say like little things like, I saw Chris on TV. And this was like I was still in college, right? She was kind of going back and forth trying to, you know, visit her and whatnot. And she would just say these little things that obviously she wasn't in her right mind, but she was pulling them from somewhere. So yeah, man, I think I've made it because I don't think I can lose.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you know, she was out of mind, man. She foresaw it.
Yeah.
That could be that too. You know what I mean? I always question that. Back to what you said earlier, right? How, you know, she's like, I saw Chris on TV. I'm proud.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanna touch on something, Chris. That again, we talk about this. It's kind of taboo in the Black community to go and ask for help or go seek a therapist. So you mentioned this several times. We don't need to get too deep into why that you're going to therapy, but more so of the fact of what made you decide that you actually needed that. Because just hearing your story for what you've said up until this point, I haven't heard anything that I would think that you would need therapy for, right? But just making the decision to go to a therapist and vent your feelings and talk to somebody, can you just walk us through the mindset of like what made you do that, and how has that impacted you now that you've started your sessions moving forward?
I think so. It's like a few things. So my fiance, she's a therapist. And she has a mental health brand actually. And so like there's that, right? She's never, people become a therapist and they try to therapize you all the time. Like that's never happened. But I would say like my behavior started to change from time to time, and people would like tell me different things, like like. And I have a chief of staff, and so she's like a little firecracker, but she would even kind of get on me like, hey, why are you yelling at me, or like why are you what I'm saying, why are you doing this? And so I think in just realizing that one dealt with a lot of death. I think I lost a person a year between 2014 and 2022. And so like dealing with that, and then again, like not necessarily, I was always a FAR too. So again, first generation college student. I'm also the first person in my family to move out of state. And so like I live in Atlanta. My whole family lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so there was that too, I think played a part. And then just like, I think being an entrepreneur and just kind of grinding it out for the last 4 years. And then on top of, I didn't even realize, and people would say to me like, yo, you're doing this, and this, and you got a son. And I'm like, yo, why are you in my personal business? Like, what is that? What does my son have to do with anything? But I think that also played a part. And so really just about to probably run myself into a wall, trying to do all things at once, be everywhere for everyone. And I'm saying, like not necessarily taking time for myself. And so, yeah, I think in that, this was last year in July, after we left Cannes, because like I said, I was in San Tropez and I was chilling at a beach club. It was cool. It was a dope beach club. Me and my lady, it was a topless beach club. So like we just vibing out, having a good time. But like I wasn't there. like I was somewhere else in my mind, and I'm like, this isn't normal. And so just I guess lashing out at everyone. It was a lot. And then I think just ended up finding a therapist. I started boxing. And so really just starting, I guess, do more for me versus like, really just putting myself first. And it's crazy again, like, cause full circle moment, I had that conversation with my dad this morning, like telling him to stop, like stop trying to do everything for everyone and do something for yourself. But I think since then, I'm gonna say life is good. I think life is great. But I think since then, man, I've honestly realized that like there is no finish line for real. I mean, we all know the finish line, and we don't know what exactly happens at that finish line. There's a lot of theories. You can go to heaven, you can go to hell, you whatever. But I think for me, it's just really just being someone that I like to be. Trying to enjoy the process a lot more, versus trying to like go towards a destination, because there is no destination.
I just want to shout out to your wife, man. I just want to give a clap to your wife for allowing you to go to a topless beach with her and look at up her boobs and
Yeah, man, you didn't even shout her brand out too. We're gonna talk about
woman.
Yeah. I'm saying you even shout the brand. We're gonna put the links up.
Yeah. So links, merch drops, man. We're gonna drop some merch this summer. Protect your mental merch. We're gonna drop that. We're gonna have some cool jackets and stuff this fall. Some content coming out. We're gonna get on that.
Love it. I just want to say, bro, I'm not trying to look, bro. I'm 36, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. We speak to enough people to know the mindset. You know what I'm saying? This is why we ask you these specific questions. It's not written, it's not scripted, but we know the people that are on that path. And I'm gonna just tell you, bro, like your self-awareness is crazy. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Most people, especially when you're creating a business, especially a successful business, it's hard not to let your ego take a path, take control of everything. You say like, yo, you screaming at me? Bitch, I'll fire you. You know what I'm saying? No, that's how we are in the, I'm just keeping it real. That's how we are in the community. For you to say, nah, you're right, something's off. I'm in these places. I'm not like I mean, it's not supposed to feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at the dope place. I'm in Canada. I'm in France. I'm with Nigeria. I'm with wifey. You know what I'm saying? For you to seek that, bro. So I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. As an older big bro, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the mindset. You're on the path, bro, and I'm proud of you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like you said, I'm learning a lot right now, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
His respect, it's also respect and the evaluation of the value that you put on people. You see, because he values his chief of staff's opinion. He values her and he wants her to do the best that she can do. See, that's the differentiation, right? When you keep people around you, like, let me tell you something, and I'm telling you personally, Chris, like, if I do something wrong, this motherfucker on over here, he gonna check me. He gonna check me, right? Whether I like it, yeah, you know, my military left. He gonna check me, right? He gonna check me. But I know that it's coming from a place of love. I know that he's not trying to check me to belittle me. And then we have these conversations all the time. We butt heads. There's a lot of times we butt heads, but when you understand that you leading with love and we're not trying to hurt each other, we're trying to build, and you have to have these conversations to keep each other sharp, right? To keep each other sharp, because at the end of the day, we are not perfect, right? And we have to rely on each other. If to look from the outside in, you can see what's going on with a person different than the person that's actually living it in the moment, because it's the norm for them, right?
Right.
So you should want to surround yourself by people that are not yes men or yes women, right? You should want to surround yourself with people that want the best for you. And sometimes the best for you, you might not see it because you're inside the box, right? So you need them to say, hey, pull your coat and say, hey, Chris, man, I'm noticing a couple things. You know, I'm not being nosy, but I don't know if you noticed, but you've been doing this or you've been doing that. Are you okay? Let me, you know, I'm checking on you. You know, do you want to talk? Or you need people like that, because that's how we help each other grow. You understand? You don't need a yes man. That doesn't help you grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was talking to my dad. Like I have this conversation with my dad often.
Yeah.
It was a quote. It said, I think men or boys when they want to be coddled or swaddled or whatever it said, like they run to mama. When you want to be corrected, you run to daddy. And so like for me personally, like I've always had I have a really good relationship with both of my parents, but me and my dad, like he gonna let me know. And it's the same with even like my godmom, like she's like the straightest shooter like you'll probably ever meet. Same with my chief of staff, same with, you know, I think a lot of people that I personally like to surround myself with. One, because like there is no blueprint. I've seen enough of what I don't want to be. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like making sure that the people that are around me, I think I've done a hell of a job at that too. And then like we talked about earlier, I mean, some people aren't necessarily there to evolve. Like they're just there to show you what happens if you don't.
Message.
I ain't gonna say that. But you got two messages.
And so yeah, man. So like you just, you know, you like you said, you got to make sure that you got people that'll hold you accountable. Otherwise, you'll spiral.
Yeah, bro.
And I've seen some people spiral.
Yeah.
And, like, just watch it from afar. I'm like, oh nah, okay, cool. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious as you're saying that too, bro. I'm thinking about your business. I'm thinking about the impact. You see, I can just tell off the back. You're same as us, bro. You're impact over metrics, purpose over profit type of person, right? So, you know, as you build and develop a business, this case studies, we just talked to Cindy about that you never even understand that you're solving as a entrepreneur, right? What was that for you? What was a good case study, or what was one testimonial from somebody that's in your sports league or somebody that's in college is like, yo, I found my community, I found my tribe, and how's it helped them?
So yeah, so we got a lot. So that's like my favorite part about the business, right? So we ended up working with Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew put up their sponsorship money plus $500,000 in prize pool. So prize pool for us, again, like before we started, no HBCU had an esports program. And then, you know, I think like for maybe 8 to 10 years, PWIs, predominantly white institutions, have had esports programs.
Yeah.
So like it's one of those things where, you know, we were just behind because we didn't know and we didn't have access. And so we wanted to be able to provide access. And so we did this tournament, broke it down to where it's like if you lose in the first round of this tournament, you walk away with something. We'd also partner with Xbox. So everybody that signed up for the tournament got an Xbox, and everybody that signed up for the tournament, whether they win or whether they lost, right? They walked away. I think it was a minimum of $300. And so college student, $300, new Xbox.
It's a month.
So like they're good. They're solid.
Yeah.
All the way up to championship round. We did the championship live in person. We had some kind of like streamers and content creators there that a lot of the college students look up to. RDC World is their name. And we had my boy Wayno there too. And so the kid that won, again, like these students are getting money all the way up through the final championship round. The kid that won walked away with $80,000 in scholarship. And really, I mean, for us, it's like, yo, this is your money. Hopefully it goes towards scholarship, but hopefully it doesn't. And I mean, hopefully it does, whatever. The kid, we asked him, what is he gonna do with the money after he won? And his story was like, my mom has lupus. I'm gonna use some of this money to pay her hospital bills. The rest of it is going, to school and to me. And you think about it, putting things into perspective, at an HBCU, the average annual tuition is about $12,000 to $14,000. And so with $80,000, that's a full ride scholarship plus some. And so like, yeah, they're able to
at the same time.
like kids are now able to essentially earn a full ride scholarship playing a video game, and doing something that they love to do. And we were able to make that happen. I think another story is like, we had a kid, his name is Eric Miner. He went to Claflin University. He was really good at Madden. So like he was whooping everybody at Madden. Eric ended up signing a professional contract, first HBCU student to go pro in esports. He signed with a team called the Philadelphia Knights. That was the esports team he signed with. So yeah, he's now, I don't know if he's still there, but he was a professional Madden player for like a year or two.
So that's like the Eagles esports affiliate.
Yeah, I think they're partnered with them in a way.
So how does that work, right? So now that you identify talent, they're part of your community, right? What kind of deals or conversations are you having with the 2K Interactives, with the EA Sports, the Blizzards, and all that? Because you're also providing talent, and you know what I'm saying? You're providing community, bro. Like you are the draft pool.
Yeah, I think it's still that's still like the challenge, I guess. So in thinking about esports, it's similar with like traditional sports, where it's like, if you're good, if you're really, really, really good, they'll come find you. You know what I'm saying? But very little people go pro. And so for us, like, we don't even like to, just knowing where we came from, like, we don't like to push professional esports in any of the kids' faces, because it's just like, it's like pushing professional basketball or pushing, professional football. But like, this is a potential avenue, and then these other things are also potential avenues too. And so like, we're taking the students to I think they just, like, on the foundation, the nonprofit side, they took them to Epic Games, like the game development conference. There's a bunch of kids. We just wrapped up a game development workshop last weekend. We have another one next weekend. And so it's like those type of things where you could work within this industry, but there's all these different avenues, and however we can kind of work and help to connect you, we're going to make sure that we can do that.
Yeah, you do any, this is a personal question, you do anything with Roblox?
No, not yet. No.
I was gonna say Roblox got my 6-year-old in a chokehold.
Yeah,
so you do something,
every 6-year-old.
They got him in just Roblox, and the graphics suck. This shit, it got me in a chokehold.
Listen, check. All you gotta do is check their parents' credit card charges. You'll see who kids. Let me say this to you, Chris. Again, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, right? And talents and wants and needs for their life, right? Mm-hmm. But you guys, you don't have to push esports to the children. What you're doing is you're showing them there's an opportunity to do what they, keyword, love, and get paid for it. Do what they love, where it's not. See, they say if you love your job, then it's not a job anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. I'm older than both of you, and I'm a gamer. I'm a fucking gamer, and I game heavy. You understand? To this day, when I had a fire in my apartment, I had every game system that had ever fucking came out. And I still got 20, 30 of them in here now. I just found some more in the garage. We get all the systems. So I'm a gamer in my 40s. You understand what I'm saying? So again, if everybody can't be the doctor, the nurse, the mechanic, some people love computers. So even if you can't play the game, design the game, right? Work on the graphics to the game, right? Work on the marketing to the game. What it does is it opens up an entirely new world of possibilities, right? Where you can make careers and phenomenal livings for you and your family in the world of gaming. Where when we grew up, our parents were like, turn that fucking stupid ass game off. You're going to rot your brain. You're sitting too close to the TV. It's never going to be nothing. You see the difference now? Right. You have gamers that make millions. And I think they did an article on I think it was T-Pain a couple months ago, where I think he said something like, bro, I don't do music for what? I make like 600 grand a month playing video games.
Yep.
Like that is a testament.
Grizzly created his own server.
Yeah.
Now, bro, it makes more money off the gaming. It is a whole universe that he created with GTA. You could go play with G, and it's his hood. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
And this is a guy that was in music, producing, artist, and he said, bro, I make more money off fuck music.
Yeah.
the auto tune, fuck all that. I'm gonna play video. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's opening up possibilities to show people that, once again, the talents that you are given, you can utilize them. And that's why we need people like you on this show, because a lot of people do not understand that certain opportunities exist. A lot of our children, inner city youth, have abilities and they have wants and they love to do certain things, but they don't think it's possible to make a life from that. Their parents don't think it's possible for that to be a career. And when you don't have that type of faith or support system or resources, guess what happens to your talents?
Don't be afraid to create an opportunity like this brother did.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to create an opportunity.
Yeah.
He saw a problem. All of us play games, but guess what? He did it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's real. That's the realest shit. Like, he did it. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to be some days you're going to be broke. It's going to be that. But to hear that story, he changed somebody else's life while also changing his life. There's nothing more gangster than that.
Facts. And guess what? With that $80,000, Chris, you might have helped save that kid's mother's life. How about that? Even if you didn't get the chance to save it, you prolonged her life and gave her a better life by helping her get the medical attention that she needs. How does that make you? Like, that's what we're talking about when we say impact over metrics. Look at what you did for that one person. You might have saved his mother's life.
Gangster.
Or at least prolonged it and gave her a better elevated more lifestyle and more time with her children and her family.
Bare minimum, he came home. She said, "Baby, I'm proud."
There it is. You see?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did it, baby. I knew you would do it.
Right. You see?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too is like going from that, right? So I guess being in it again, as we talk about, like with the whole depression things, like you're in it, and so like as you're in it, like you like. It's cool and it's exciting, but it's like, all right, on to the next thing. Like, it has to be on to the next thing. And so when you don't take a moment to like just slow down and just, you know, I ain't gonna say the word again, but slow down and understand what you're doing. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to do now. But so we worked with T-Pain. We worked with T Grizzly. I think another cool example too that you know he started as a gamer, and y'all are from the Bronx too. Kai Cenat.
Yeah.
Kai.
So Kai Cenat, yesterday, the day before, like Kai's on the cover of Billboard magazine right now.
Crazy,
man.
Crazy.
He's a streamer, a kid that's
crazy.
He's literally sitting in his living room or in his bedroom, whatever, doing things that we do. Like you said, you're a gamer, right? Like you just turn the camera on, live streamed it, was himself, and boom. Everything at his fingertips. And so the opportunities are definitely there. I mean, like you said, you just gotta be brave.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Just thinking about that, brother. We in the living room right now.
Yeah.
So you can get the real Kai before we become Kai, and you can get access right now. Shout out to our Twitch family. Shout out to Marcus Kimball on the Instagram and everybody on the LinkedIn. Shout out to y'all. We love y'all, but you can go there, get your merch. We're about to have some, you know, some community media more than the title merch. We about to do the collabs. We're gonna make it happen, y'all. Make sure y'all scan the QR code, go there, get your course, how to build relationships and revenue, support the team. You know how we do.
Crazy. I got a question for you, Chris. So you talked about just constantly moving, not allowing yourself to live in the moment, just constantly trying to elevate. But there has to be a point to which you kind of like can see where you're elevating to. So if you had to like just sum it up, like at the end of this business journey, when you decide to go Mai Tais on the beach somewhere with the family and pass this thing on and become more of an advisor instead of, you know, the owner operator, what point do you want to get this business to that would be like your pinnacle of success for you before you kind of step away and or hand it down to your son, who at that time might be of age and ready to take over, you know, the family business? What does that look like for you?
Yes, I mean, I think we not so. I didn't think we are gonna be what Vibe magazine or Double XL was to hip hop. We're gonna be that for gamers and the digital creator economy.
Ooh.
And so,
Shit.
and so everything that you see, right? Like there's Plaque Boy Max. I think he's also from New York. There's Kai Cenat, there's iShow Speed, there's Aiden Ross, like all these other content creators and streamers that have now essentially taken over. Like I know y'all are, y'all big in hip hop. Elliott Wilson. Elliott Wilson right now is getting a lot of flack for hating on these guys. But the thing is, like, and then there's people like Kevin Hart that would go and he's supporting them and he's spending the night with Kai Cenat. And it's like your uncle is sleeping in your, you know what I'm saying? You're like y'all in the same room and he's actually participating. Like they're dumping water on Kevin Hart. He dancing, he's changing clothes, he's doing all the things. And so like this is the future. Like it's now. Obviously a lot of people don't see it, but it is the future. And I think what we are gonna do is bring this streaming culture more into the future, especially as you see more of us going online. Like I'm reading this book now, the Singularity, and it's just talking about how we as humans are going to essentially merge with these AI tools that we're using. And I mean it's happening now. Like I don't remember the last time I went anywhere without my phone. Like I'm consciously trying to do it now. But yeah, I mean there's wearables, there's the Apple Watch, right? Like and all of these things. Yeah. So like we're just that's our goal. Is to be that. And I think more opportunities.
But you nailed it, bro. That is the future. We said it off camera, let's say it on camera, right? Like you said, all these people, the reason why they're popping off is because you get to see people that you aspire to be, you like, your favorite comedian in a way that you've never seen them before. And that's going to be the evolution of the podcast game. That's going to be the evolution of esports, right? All of these things, right? I know for podcasting, I told you off camera, our biggest post to date on Instagram is us taking a guest from our joint, shout out to Mike, bringing them to the Forest Projects and walking them through, right? But once again, that's based off relationships. That's based off of access. You're not going to see him in a way like this. We're the only people who have that content with him.
Right.
Same way like Kai. You want to see him come through for Thanksgiving? You got to come to the stream. You got to come through to the stream, and it's genius, right? So Elliott's a hater. I ain't gonna hold you. He's a hater. He's a hater. I'm gonna keep it. He's a hater. You just didn't embrace it.
What the what's wrong with this guy? Am I getting there?
You gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it. You the old nigga rapping mad slow. And niggas is double timing you. Niggas hit him with the Migos flow, and he's sitting on hip. You hip it. You gotta fucking grow with the audience. The people
Hate it.
I'm telling you. You're not hearing that rap radar shit. I'm sorry. I have an interview. But
that's real.
You're a legend. You're a journalist. Now take that same skill set and now put it in a way, like you said, what is going to be something exclusive to you and your brand?
Mm-hmm. Or what can you do that can then bring value to these other younger guys? Again, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, at the height of his career, is sleeping on the floor in a 22-year-old's crib on a live stream and allowing it like they're dumping water, like he gets it.
Come on.
And 750,000 people are watching for call it 8 hours straight.
Come on.
Like he gets it. And then like to your point, a lot of record labels, they're reaching out too, because artists are struggling, rappers specifically are struggling with their fan bases, and a guy like Kai Cenat is not. Why? Because it's relation, it's relatable. Gone are the days where we care about your jewelry, your chains, what you're doing, like you popping pill, like we don't care. Like we want to see you
Talk to him.
Act like a normal person, someone that we can relate to, because we don't have jewelry, we don't have chains, we're not flying in PJs, but like what can you do that make us feel like more, I guess, than, what can you do that make us not feel less than?
I was gonna hit. I think he was gonna be like more than the title. I was like, there he go. He's about to dunk. He said more than a. I'm
gonna say it was right.
Shameless plug. He's waiting for the shameless plug, Chris. He's waiting for the shameless plug.
Oh, wait, bro. Like, there he go. He about to, yeah, that's a motherfucking ad.
That's a clip. That's a clip.
Clip right there. Oh, he's fucking doing it.
Yeah. It's you know, I think that people are starting to understand that a lot of shit is smoke and mirrors. And they're just tired of the smoke and mirrors. They're tired of the magic trick, right? They're tired of the bullshit. You understand? You look like something, you're saying something, but then in reality, you're doing this and you're doing that. You know what I mean? When Casanat said he was going down to fucking 14th Street, holy shit, he got arrested for that.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a person shut down fucking Union Square, 14th Street. Like he shut that shit down to the point where he got arrested.
Yeah.
Like he brought that many people out and they just fucking stopped. Like that shows you the power of people saying he's just like me. I relate to fuck all, like you said, fuck a lot of other boy. I know Kai. He looked like me from the hood. I'm going out to support Kai because Kai, again, it's relatable. What makes Kevin Hart relatable is the same thing that makes us relatable, is because when Kevin Hart is out, he's always in places around people and he's relatable, right? I'm here. Like you said, I'm at a 22-year-old's house. I'm not so bougie that I'm like, why would I fuck with a 22-year-old? I'm in multi-million that. Nah, he's not that. The same way that we can walk around the hood and bring people, it's relatable. It's people being say, yo, I could touch him. I could get in contact with him when I want, right? He'll answer the phone. It's that point of the connectivity that people are looking for right now. You understand what I'm saying?
Having a pulse on the coaches. The reason why Drake was lit for 20 years. He
Right.
could find amigos in the middle of Atlanta and know this song is a hit and I'm going to give you a verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that identifying talent and then helping that talent and not feeling like your talent is going to get diminished.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the bullshit.
Because it's self-awareness also. Like Kevin Hart doesn't lose anything by helping out Casanat. Now, a lot of people might tell him like, nah, don't do that. He's a little kid. It's going to fuck up your brand. But he's like, bro, I'm going to help this kid out. You see what I'm saying? It's having faith in who you are and the message that you represent, and then showing up also tastefully, right? He showed up the way he should have showed up. He didn't show up and act bougie. He didn't show up like, yo, y'all got to act a certain way because I'm Kevin Hart. He showed up like, nah, I'm with the shits. This what we doing.
He was on brand like a motherfucker.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? And again, right, what that does is sends a message to the culture that says he gets it, right? He understands us. He's connecting with us, which helps his fan base more, which helps his companies more, because now, once again, people, once they feel like they can relate to you and build your community, it will build your brand, because now you have locked in fans that say, nah, I really rock with him because he's a real one.
Right.
The real one.
That shit is
You know
real,
what I'm
bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is a dope ass interview, man. First of all, I'm gonna put it in there. We got to do something. I got your math, bro. We're gonna start the group chat, right? That's what we do with all of our fans. I mean, all of our guests, right? So what we gonna do, bro? We don't do the gatekeeping shit. Just like Dante told you, bro. That's big, bro. Anybody we've talked to before or after, you now have access to, bro. We have you're the 180th episode.
You'll do. Oh
yeah.
No, real talk. This is what we do. This is why we create the group chat, bro. We don't do it. This is real. This is real.
I mean, like we talked about consistency, like 180 episodes is wild.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right.
100 episodes last year alone, Chris. 100 episodes last year alone. 100.
100, bro.
It's only 52 weeks in a year.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Some weeks we have 4 pods.
That's a fact.
Straight up, we had in-persons, we had all types of shit. We was doing events, bro. We did Black Week. We didn't even drop the Black. We got content with you from Black Week. We didn't even dropped that yet.
Yeah.
So much content.
Yeah.
So
you're not
crazy. So for real, bro, I just want to let you know, man, we proud of you, bro. If there's anything that we can do to help further the mission, anything we could, support you. You got something in New York. I would love to do some shit in the Bronx. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a 2K dude. So if you got 5 people, I got 5 right now. We can pull a little wager on, you know what I'm saying? I win, nigga.
Football, Chris. Football. Don't let him do that. You said football first, Chris. Don't let him. That's what he does, man. He tries to get him back over to the basketball side.
Nigga, I'm Massey Mahomes. I'll throw a strike on your ass. Don't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But I want to do just let me know, bro. Like, we want to support you, bro. We proud of you, man. Like, yo, what you're doing is dope, man. We want people to champion you. Just let people know where they can find you, man, where they can get in touch with the league, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. So we're on pretty much all social media platforms. Community Cxmmunity. So it's community, but take out the O and put an X. Same website, cxm.co, communitymedia.co. You'll start to see, like I said, we're building out that platform there. Personally, I am Chris, CHRIS.PEAY on Instagram, I think, and Twitter. I don't think I'm on anything else.
Shit, I ain't mad. Shit, we on Discord, Twitch, we on 8. Yo, please follow us on all platforms. Me and Chadeo working.
This content shit is crazy, Chris. I ain't gonna hold it. I just want to reiterate what my cousin said, man. At 30, I had my own company as well. And it's been a journey, man. And like I said, I just want to commend you, brother, on sticking with the fight. Plain and simple, right? You had a vision and you're fighting the good fight. And once again, I just want to send this message that you might not ever know the person that you have affected the most, but believe the work that you are doing is not going unnoticed, right? Might not ever get the flowers from certain people. Certain people will follow you your entire career and never hit the like button or never share your stuff or never tell you. But trust me, bro, the work that you are doing is super important. And I just want to commend you for just taking the spear and saying, no, I'm going to lead from the front and really just being like, whatever that looks like, I'm willing to bear that, right? Because it's not many of us, but by you coming on this platform and sharing your story, right? And letting people into your life and getting to know you and being vulnerable, I promise you're going to have people that you inspire that hear this interview and say, if Chris can do it, I can do it. They're going to be inspired by you. They're going to follow you. And I just want to say thank you, bro, because we need more young, brothers like you to just take charge, man, and just be about something more positive than just the negative things that we know that we could actually go out there and do.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative. There's definitely a lot more positive. I think for me, I'm big on, like I said, just respecting my elders. I was raised primarily by Black women. Everybody in my family is older than me. I'm the baby on both sides.
Right.
And so for me, it's like, like I know, Jerry, you mentioned like 36. I'm like, shit, you my big brother. Same with Chad. And I think, it's like the youth. I think there's like this African proverb, like the youth can move fast. The youth can go fast, but the elders know the way. And so, like, I'm always looking at, who's been there or have not been there, but you've been through something, and you have more years in life than me. And so I'm gonna shut the hell up and listen, because you're about to tell me something, right? Whether I take it and listen to it or not, but it's probably something that I need to take heed to. So again, I appreciate y'all, because what you don't realize is that at that time, I'm trying to think, Black Week, that was July. Black October. Oh, that was October. Yeah. So yeah, I had just started therapy at that time, and I wasn't like all the way there. Like Black Week, like I said, that was one of the first conferences that I was at that like I felt like myself. I'm like, oh, yeah, like this is cool. It's just more Black people, and then there's Dante, like, yo, you should meet all these people, and then and that's I think where I felt like I belong. Then I met y'all, and then y'all like, yo, like, stop being modest, like. What are you talking about? I had this other dude in Atlanta, Adele. He came to the office a couple weeks ago, actually. We were talking, and he's like, yo, y'all doing it, man. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, I'm trying. he like, listen, man, sit down, man. Let me talk to you. And pretty much said like the same thing. And so young Black men need older Black men. And that's why even finding a therapist, I found a Black man, right? Like, most people are like, oh, I want a woman. Like, nah, I need somebody that's going to give me the game. That's going to tell me what I need to hear. That's been through similar situations and can kind of give it. Dang, I was about to say something else. I was going to get the pause button. That was going to be a mean one. I didn't deserve that one.
But I'm like, nigga, I was like, nah, he going on the trigger. Because it's the ending of the show, no.
I have my finger on the Chris. You're going to do it.
Real,
to do it.
Real and uncut, we'll say.
I love it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, again, you wonder why we started.
I was going to say, before we hit you with that, I just wanted to give him the Black Week. I wanted to give him the Black Week joint.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So the 100 episodes, bro. When we saw you, we had about 40 people that we've had on the show in that room. We saw you in. Everybody, and I'm telling you right now, before we started the podcast, we didn't have any relationships. We had none. We had zero, zilch, nothing. You know what we said? We want to create a platform where people like you could come in and talk your shit. And it's different from the ad age. It's different from this. It's different from that. And you could be yourself. I saw you in the Breakfast Club. I know you probably come in like, I was just with my bros. This shit was regular degular. You know what I'm saying? Like you could feel that energy. And that's what it is, bro. But we had all of that, bro. And it's from the grind, reaching out to people, having a vision, same things that you preach, bro. So when I said that earlier about your mindset, I really meant that shit, bro, because we are you are us, bro.
100%.
Keep grinding. You got that shit, man. Keep changing lives, man. Real talk. Like that Black Week, for us to be there, it meant that like we the only people podcasting in there.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Y'all was grinding too.
We in a and we said it on the show. Me and this nigga just argued right before we did. we had just nigga fuck that. Arguing, the nigga said, "Yo, showtime. All right, yo, let's do it." My brethren.
Love it, right? Exactly.
Yo, Chris, we was there 4 days, cuzzo? 4 days?
4 days.
We was there 4 days. We did our thing, but 5 minutes after the argument was the best fucking day that we had. That day, after that fucking argument, when I say we took over that VIP lounge and we went fucking, you would have never knew we had. Yeah. But because it wasn't an argument about beef, right? It's just how to best use our time, our resources, how to get, again, business talk, right? How to just get the most out of our time and our resources. But again, you see, we didn't let ego get involved. We're here to do a job. Okay, we had a disagreement, but we on the same page now. Let's get back to work. You see what I'm saying?
And the real, I'll keep it all way gangster. We in the room, we just chilling. I'm like, yo, bro, we got 50 guests outside. We not getting no content.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Oh, so that's this one. Yo, that's this one. That's this one. Yo, what's going on? Yo,
right.
This is where we shine. You know what I'm saying? And we wanted to be respectful to the venue, to the these are our peoples, these are our brothers, our sisters that gave us the opportunity, which we're grateful and like super humble for. Like it's an honor. You know what I'm saying? So we just like, damn, nigga, I don't want to be in this little room and nigga ain't no guests coming up here. Let's get out there. And when we got out there, bro, bust their ass that day, bro. And the content we got is crazy, man. Like, and just even further than the content, meeting brothers like you, man.
Yeah.
Meeting you. We didn't know you. It was there for a reason. It's meant for you to be on the podcast. Meant for us to have a relationship, start the group chat. Because we ain't gatekeeping. So we want to see you win, bro. Keep winning. And we're gonna do this shit together. You got brothers now in that Bronx. So we're gonna give you, if you want to come through the Bronx, that carpet, you told you.
But let me just add to that, Chris. You know what it is? Is because, like you said, we're good guys, Chris. The reason we didn't go to Cannes is not because we had the contract. We could have went. I'm telling you that. We could have went. We didn't go because we only do business a certain way. That's it. The right way. And it just wasn't right. We could have done it, but it wouldn't have been the way we wanted to do it. And because we're good guys, like you said, we're good people and we're not trying to jerk nobody. We're not trying to sue nobody. We're not trying to do bad business. And if that means we miss out on an opportunity to get it right later, we are willing to do that, right? So that's the only reason we wasn't there last year, just because the numbers wasn't right. You understand what I'm saying? And we had to just make sure that we were able to do what we had to do the right way. That's all it, like, again, right? And we had the conversation in the room because cousin wanted to do something. I'm like, yeah, you want to do this, but they want us to do that. And I just didn't want to conflict and ruin the relationship. That's all it was. So it was just a difference of opinion of how to do the right thing. It still was the right thing either way. It's just, how do we go about executing it? You see, so when you're on this, again, perfect example of when you're on the same page with somebody and y'all share the same vision and y'all share the same passion, you can work it out and move things forward. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, ladies and gentlemen, man, once again, that's why we gonna keep starting off the show and telling y'all we got phenomenal guests. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, in 180 guests, we haven't had an unphenomenal guest yet. So it is what it is. Just get ready and get settled with hearing that. Another phenomenal guest came on the show, was vulnerable, right? Told you multiple aspects of his life, his successes, his failures, his mindset. He told you how it affected him being a family man. He told you the support system and how important it was to have a strong woman behind him, right? And have strong people in his camp, not being yes people to help support him. You understand what I'm saying? He also showed you that, listen, I'm willing to go get educated and I'm willing to move away from my family, my friends, the people that I know, my life, to a completely another state to keep the pursuit going, right? So once again, he has showed you, he has proven it to you time and time again. We keep reiterating this message. The dream is free.
But the hustle is sold separately, y'all. Y'all know what it is. We see y'all Thursday, my
What
guy.
you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me?